It is quite interesting, actually, the different reactions of Leave and Remain to what Donald Tusk had to say, yes, and indeed what Guy Verhofstadt had to say, and indeed that card that Jean-Claude Juncker shared with Leo Varadkar, the card that said in the message, Britain does not care about peace in Northern Ireland. It is an extraordinary time, 50 days today to Brexit, assuming we do Brexit on the 29th of March, 50 days to go. And yet we are seeing a complete breakdown of all attempts to actually get a deal. We're told all sides want a deal. Now, the criticism of Donald Tusk has been, well, greeted with open arms by many Remainers. But it wasn't the job of the Leave campaigners, whether it was Vote Leave, whether it was Boris Johnson, Nigel Farage or anyone else, to devise a plan for what to do in terms of Brexit and leaving the EU. It was the job of the government of David Cameron and his civil servants, who failed to actually prepare for an outcome they didn't want and didn't believe would ever happen, and the government and the civil service under Theresa May, who has failed to take us forward when we're almost at the leaving date. Both, I'd like to point out, were campaigners for Remain, not Leave. Now, it was the EU that insisted there should be no discussion before we triggered Article 50 about what would happen once we did. And once we triggered Article 50, it was the EU that insisted on this daft idea of sequencing on 3 issues key to the future relationship. They said the Irish border, the rights of EU citizens, and that 39 billion quid they're so keen to get their hands on. Now we're told the EU won't reopen the withdrawal agreement to discuss a deal that has any chance of getting through the British Parliament. Instead, they opt for insulting our politicians, insulting Vote Leave voters, insulting the very people who, by the way, through our taxes, pay for their huge salaries, their huge pensions and their huge perks. Bearing in mind that all of those who insulted this country yesterday are diplomats being paid to represent us right now. We haven't left just yet. But what is worse than what Donald Tusk, Guy Verhofstadt and Jean-Claude Juncker said yesterday, and did yesterday, is the British people who have welcomed it. The Remainers like Caroline Lucas, leader of the Greens, who tweeted out, "We are all Donald Tusk." To those who cheered them on, enjoying the fact that their fellow countrymen were being insulted by an overpaid, egomaniac European diplomat. Well, I'm not angry with Donald Tusk or his henchmen. I want to thank Donald Tusk. I want to thank Guy Verhofstadt and I want to thank Jean-Claude Juncker. Yes, and even Leo Varadkar as well, the Irish Prime Minister, who, by the way, is being played like a fiddle by the European Union. I want to thank you for reminding me and 17.4 million others who voted to leave exactly why we wanted to leave your corrupt, arrogant, feather-nesting little club. So in 50 days' time, can I just say, we will be delighted to say goodbye and leave you in your little special place in hell for arrogant diplomats paid for by our taxes.